NYS, the way they cook, you know, those trays, you know, food is always in a tray.
Yeah.
The ugali is a big block. And then there's another thing with just sauce, stew, cabbage, chopped and big pieces of meat. Should have seen us. No, we're fine. No, I'm fine. I'm okay. Hey, by day 3, you're eyeing the biggest ugali block, but you're sitting at the end of the table because that's where you get to choose.
CTA with Patricia, video 3.
You never truly know people until you take the time out to get to know people. We're taking time out to get to know Patricia Ithau. You know what's so mind-blowing about your story? The thing that's standing out for me is just how situations in life make people make pivotal decisions that then later on shape who they come to be. The independence, the spaghetti, what is it? the shoes.
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't, what we're seeing is the fruits, but then what you're also getting to explain to us is the roots.
It's a root.
Yeah. So, okay, University of Nairobi, your parents are like, sorry, we don't have that money.
No money, darling. And you can go to the University of Nairobi. It's very good. University of Nairobi was a top university at that time, whatever. And so I finished my A-levels and decided, you know, as I've said, you know, I've always had this work ethic for whatever reason. Because, as I said, this drive for independence always had me thinking what I need to do in order to stay independent.
Yeah. And so, about what years? This is pre-90?
Yes, pre-90.
Okay.
Pre-90. So I then decided to take a course. They called it a crash program, a Kianda, where I did this secretarial commercial English program. So did that for 6 months. And then my mother used to work at Hamilton, Harrison and Matthews, the firm, the legal firm. And I dreamt of being a lawyer. You know, I used to watch all these law shows, you know, and I was like, oh my goodness, the way they dress, the power dressing. You know, 80s was the first era of power dressing and everything else.
Yeah.
And the arguments. So when she said, you know, come and work, spoke to the managing partner there, the late Ken Fraser, and he said, no, let her come here and let her, you know, work here and whatever else. So I went to work for Hamilton, Harrison and Matthews. Fantastic time. Learned a lot. In fact, I was a lawyer for all intents and purposes for quite a bit, because I went to work for a lawyer. Her name was Otunga at the time.
Yeah.
And then she fell ill. And so when she fell ill, they got me because I started drafting all those things. Because for me, I'm like, they're just so straightforward.
And this is like your... Not
I was
an
19.
internship. This is your gap.
I'm 19. And so I draft all these defenses and plaints for all these Phoenix insurance versus so and so, this, whatever. But then you check them afterwards.
Yes.
You know, I draft and then I just pass them to him to look. So, I mean, he absolutely, if there was somebody who was shattered when I didn't do law, it was him. Because I decided, I went to court thinking, you know, I was going to find what I used to see on, it wasn't LA Law. I'm trying to remember what that show was, I'm telling you. And then I go there, you're shuffling in smelly benches, you know our courts, you know, smelly, people, bad breath, bad breath, lots of, and then you've got a judge there sitting there with a biro pen. Thanks. I'm like, but where's the argument? I put it to you, you know, all those, you know, Your Honor, this. I was like, my dream was shattered completely. I said, no.
But how good was it that at least you got to experience it?
I got to experience it. And it was good.
And make a decision of not what you want.
And it was fantastic. Actually, I owe a lot in many ways. You know, they say they're mentors from a distance to Ken Fraser the late, because the stuff I understood about law, about contracts and everything else. I was a little 19-year-old sitting there looking at Phoenix, East Africa versus this, whatever. Files this thick. And I'll sit there, I'm like, oh, but there's a pattern. Because for me, life is also patterns. There's a pattern here. And then do them, give them to him, give them to him, and then you relook, write, change, and whatever else.
Yeah.
I learned so much about stuff like that. I was getting the grand salary, very grand salary of 1,500 shillings a month. I still remember that. But it was a lot of money. I saved a lot.
Hey, you're at home.
I saved a lot. I had a little saving book and everything else. And then I had to leave because I was going to join the National Youth Service.
Wow.
Because to join the university at that time, and my mom said, are you sure? Because you can continue to work. Are you sure you want to do this? We can find a way to get you an exemption. And I was like, no. My conscience said, let me push myself here. Why get an exemption that I don't need? And lots of people got exemptions because they didn't want to do it. I said, let me push myself. Let me do this thing.
Nice.
And then me and a group of my friends, a lot of my friends, we said, let us all do these things. Since we're all a group, we're going to University of Nairobi, let's do it. Let me tell you, 3 months of hell. Till today, the thing that... And being the logical person again, I'm like, why are we waking up at 5 to just run up a hill and run back again, going pity chain, at 4 in the morning, and then you come back, take a call. For me, first of all, I didn't know showers. You go into a shower, there's no shower curtain, there's nothing, you're all just going in. And water, freezing at 5 in the morning. Do you know Gilgil, how cold it is at 5 in the morning? Trauma. Till today, I'm not a morning person. In fact, if I have to catch a flight for the years when I have to get up early and I hear the crickets, chee-chee, my brain goes back to Gilgil. I'm like, I'm there again. Oh my God, what am I going to do? So it was horrible. That's all you do. Well, and maybe there was a discipline to it. But we spent the whole day marching, standing in line. But you taught and we learned a lot. And I sat down and I said, actually, when you reflect on it, the lessons I got from that was first the resilience. That you can stand somewhere even though you don't want to do it and you don't see sense in why you're doing it, but you do it and you get through it. So there's a strength and a resilience. It teaches you to get over difficult times. Because when you're standing in that hot sun, in a row, in boots, which you have shone until they're reflecting back into your eyes with a belt and whatever else, and you're just there in that hot sun, standing, and then you don't move until you're told to move by the commander, whatever his name was, and you're told, at ease. And you're like, okay, off you. But until you're told that, you're just in the hot sun. People would faint and they'll come and say, what's wrong with you? What are you fainting? So you're telling yourself, I'm not going to faint. Yeah? And then you do something silly or naughty, you get punished. Because now when you're told, if you move, because you're standing there holding the thing like this and you're told, and you get tired, you move. You're going to get punished. The first time I got punished because of a movement, they made me do chura hops. Chura hops and burpees. Let me tell you. Do you know that exercise? Hey, I tell you. Till today, when my trainer or anybody, they start telling me do burpees or chura hops. I say, I can't. If I couldn't do them at 19, I'm not going to do them in my 50s. So please, let's be very, very clear. I cannot.
Chura hops are not for me.
Chura hops. They tried. Then they realized this one's not going to do it. And at jikoni. So you now go to the kitchen to cut cabbage.
so let me ask. At this time, is your whole story doesn't sound of two things haven't happened. Number one, boarding.
Yes.
You've not been to boarding.
I've never been to boarding.
Been to boarding.
So that's why when you get to NYS, you're in this place, you're all in a row, all of you. You don't understand this thing that you're all together, that everything has to be here. You've got your little blue band. You have to make sure that nobody touches it. And then you come back and find it's finished. It's gone. You're jammed. And I'm like, why do people behave like this? This is mine. Why? Don't you understand that these are my things? These are my things. And then you go to the shower. There's no curtain. So you're like, okay. So you stand in that shower. You're looking around. You're like, okay, so how am I going to wash my bits? With everybody watching, with people watching, but these are things that relax you, and this is a convent girl, you've been told keep your knees together, do this together, and now I'm supposed to just go do the show with everybody just passing and watching, and oh my goodness, it was a nightmare. But even going to the bathroom, remember, when you've not been to boarding, you don't remember you have to carry things. I'll get there, I've forgotten the soap. You go back again, you get there, you've forgotten the, because it's not a rhythm that you're used to, I like, where do we put that? Okay, towel, what do you do? Yeah?
I have to say this. You know what you are?
Yeah.
Hey, you're a baby who was taken. to the real life.
I'm telling you, kabisa.
But also,
chura hop. Have you tried doing a chura hop? Even if I tell you to do it now, I don't even know. I mean, how does anybody squat and then you jump up and down like, kama sungura? I'm like, I'm not a sungura. So I'm sorry, I can't do this shit. Why am I here? Maybe I should have gotten that exemption. Nightmare, absolute. Hey, pity chain. 4 a.m. You're going up Gilgil, all of you, and you have to be in step. You go up and you come back down, and then straight into a cold shower.
I get it.
Yeah, but anyway, all I know is, and you know, we were little Musongari girls. We thought, you know, when my parents took us, we stopped at Naivasha, a place called La Belle Inn.
Yeah.
La Belle Inn used to do these incredible pies, nice hot pies. And so as we're going, we're like, oh, good, we'll be coming here over the weekend. I'm telling you, this is where, at least, thank God, you know, Naivasha is close. We'll be coming here over the weekend to get a pie. So the first day we arrived, and then, you know, NYS, the way they cook, you know, those trays, you know, food is always in a tray. The ugali is a big block. And then there's another thing with just sauce, stew, cabbage, chopped and big pieces of meat. You should have seen us. No, we're fine. No, I'm fine. I'm okay. Hey, by day 3, you're eyeing the biggest ugali block. You're sitting at the end of the table because that's where you get to choose. You choose a block, you choose a cabbage, a nice leaf one, and you choose that one piece of meat. 3 days is all it took. I sit down, I tell them 3 days is what it took to break us. Now poshness. Guys, I'm telling you.
I saw this. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm laughing here, but this is hilarious.
Hey, I tell you. Hey, my life. Hey, that shower. Hey.
Wow.
By the end of the day, we were showering outside. If the showers are full, you just take a basin, a bucket. You're out there. You don't care who's looking, whether there's a funder there, whatever. You just you're fine. You know, washing everywhere. Not a posh. Real African. You know how Africans we wash. We're doing all that. Nothing. 3 days.
3 days.
Nothing. A transformation. Hey, I tell you.
What? I love it.
I'll tell you. It was something else. Yeah.
But okay, so one, I was going to laugh. I was like, for real, like the story, like NYS is the real Kenya.
Yes.
But also from the perspective of you got to also meet different people from all across the country, different tribes, different financial backgrounds.
Exactly.
You like it's what was that also like?
It was good because you're all level. You're all one level.
Were you guys still hanging out, or did they even?
No, with my friends were together. We had different tents.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 or 2 friends were together with, but they broke you up because you know you mingled and mixed in different tents. So that is the way it was. Yeah.
Okay. So
and so you wouldn't even see each other. Sometimes you see each other only at the end of the day or whatever else.
You're like,
you know, I learned how to fieka grass. Wait. Actually, that rebellious side of me, I realized it's not going to work here.
Yeah.
You know, the punishment level here is at a different level. You're not being sent home here. This one, you're going to do real hard labor. The first time I pulled, and then fieka, and you know, the grass isn't even there that you're being told to cut. What are you cutting? So you're just that slasher just hitting the ground, you know, and maybe might pick one blade or something like that. Actually, the kitchen is the only one I could deal with. I didn't mind the kitchen. Kitchen I could do. Yeah.
But let me say, that was an amazing thing to go through before going to uni.
Yes, it did.
Because it was a reality check
a complete reality
of this
check.
life that you see. You've been to Musonga, and like, let me say this.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why I relate to your story. I understand the full Barbie life. I get it.
Yes.
But people don't understand it. First of all, it's not your choice to the family in which you're born in.
Yes.
Or sometimes that family that you're born in means that you go to a certain caliber of schools.
Yes.
You get?
Yeah.
And that caliber of schools therefore means that you become a certain person.
Yes.
So you have been in this muso proper for years. You get?
Yes.
So this here was a major, it's black and white.
It was trauma.
Yeah.
One of my classmates from Musangari, good friend, a classmate, were together and whatever. She went to Canada. And then she absolutely hated it. Absolutely hated it. But since she had been accepted, and remember we had a 2-year gap, she told her parents she's coming back. She'd rather come back to the University of Nairobi. And part of the reason she came in when we'd already started the NYS, National Youth Service. And I remember when Laura walked in, by that time we'd been in like 3 weeks. 4 weeks.
Guess had been broken already.
We'd been broken. First of all, we were all black stick figures, because you're in the sun the whole time. There isn't a part of you that wasn't tan. So then you see this apparition. She was like an apparition. Till today, another image which I remember. She fresh from Canada with a bright hood.
Wow.
Yellow, full yellow, hair done. We're like, it's like like you see angels coming. There she is coming, because of course she's been in the cold, pale. You guys, and she walked. And we're like, what are you doing? How could you? She's like, I'm here. No. Anyway, as the rest of us, it all came to pass. And in a week we all looked the same, so it was fine. This yellow apparition in a floating thing that she had come in, and leggings and anyway, boots thing. We're all the same. Don't worry. Yeah.
A lot of majority of Kenyans go through this transformation.
Yeah.
Maybe in high school.
Yes.
In high school is where they're like, what do you mean? What's all these things? Even in Jugush, when I had him here, he gives his story exactly hilarious as yours.
Yeah.
But now during his high school thing.
Yeah.
So I'm picturing like that. For me, I was laughing just because of the amount of change that it brought.
Yes.
But also I know, and I've said it again, it definitely then prepared you for this. It removed that thought maybe that you had heard of Nairobi University.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes. But Nairobi University, by the way, I'm going to debunk something. The Nairobi University I went to was a completely different place. First of all, my mother being the person
So how long are you at NYS? Let's close this chapter.
NYS is 3 months. 3 months felt like 30 years. Okay? Boy.
No parents coming to visit, no nothing.
No, they come for the passing out parade.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, they could come and visit. They could come and visit once a month. And when they came, we were very clear. Labelle in Naivasha, pies. Would eat like people. I sit down like it was like animals, honestly, because it was so sweet. I was telling my kids sometimes you have to be deprived of things to start to enjoy things more.
Yes.
Because this world, when you have so much, nothing tastes as good anymore. Till today, I can tell you the taste of that pie. The buttery crust, the flakiness, the juices of that. Oh my goodness. I'm tasting it now, But I tell you, and then you enjoy it, and then your head, and then they bring you another blue band. Which time you're trying to figure out how do you lock it, and then a jam, and then a bread. You're like, oh, bread. When did bread become so tasty? Oh God, bread and jam, buttered. So now you're going. Now you cut a deal when you go back with your neighbors. Okay, look, we're going to share. Yeah. Because you don't want it, because you're at least getting your parents coming and bringing you these things. So you don't want to be jealous. You don't want people to be envious. And so you just agree with them. What we're going to do, if you chota he too. Just tell me you're going to chota. But then, the chota. So now it becomes a negotiation. Because you want to at least last a week. Yes. A week. At least a week. Of jam. Anyway, so it was good. So we passed that. It was fantastic. I think one of the best things that happened, I was the fittest, the smallest. And I think I must have been close to 50 kilos. I look at myself now, I ask myself, how is it possible a few decade kilos more that I could have been that way to the same frame? You ask yourself. And but we came out, we survived. Yeah.
And then now you joined the University of Nairobi.
And are
you in halls of residence?
Yes.